and tell you
Okay.
the floor is all yours.
Okay. Thanks, Reggie. Good afternoon, and thank you today for joining us. And we get the coveted closing act at ASAE Demo Days, the final demo. We're excited to show you some of the many features and functionality within Nimble AMS, the most popular and trusted AMS built on the Salesforce platform. And as the last demo, we're going to try to make it fun. Like Reggie asked us, where is the Nimble AMS world famous Airstream trailer? So we added that to our homepage there. And for your demo team, my name is Jeff Golombieski, or Jeff G for short. I'm the Vice President of Sales Engineering for Nimble AMS. And my quick bio, I'm Salesforce certified. I've been in the association industry for about 30 years now. And I even got to be a speaker at Salesforce's large Dreamforce conference. Logan?
Hi everyone, my name is Logan Heaney. I'm a senior solutions engineer with Nimble AMS. Like Jeff, I'm also Salesforce certified, and I've been with the Nimble AMS team for about 5 years. Prior to that, I was with Apple for 5 years, crafting hardware and software solutions for businesses, schools, and associations.
Thanks, Logan. And of course, Logan and I love to collaborate. So during the demo, if you do have questions, and I'm sure over the last, couple of days you've seen this, don't hesitate to share any of your questions in the Q&A panel, and we'll work to get you the answers during the demo, or we'll follow up with you on that. So before we get into the demo, I just wanted to check to see if people are familiar with community brands and Nimble AMS. So I'm just going to give you a brief introduction of who we are. Nimble AMS is part of the Community Brands family. And Community Brands has a crafted universe of industry-leading and complementary cloud-based software dedicated just to associations, membership management, event technology, learning management, and careers. We have a suite of interrelated products that are all thoughtfully designed to enhance your constituents' member journey with your association. We have over 3,000 employees serving over 100,000 clients in 30 plus countries. We help associations grow stronger and achieve their mission, all while delighting and exceeding your members' expectations. And we're really the only software provider in this space that is operating at scale, where we can provide the investment necessary to empower you to accomplish your critical missions. Nimble AMS is uniquely positioned like none of the other AMSs on the market today. Our customers can take advantage of that entire suite of complementary association products by Community Brands, but they can also leverage all of the awesome sauce available within the Salesforce platform. Nimble AMS is we're built on that Salesforce platform. You get access to the world's #1 CRM, account management, report building, mobile automation, AI. And in the middle, that's where we stand. We're on the Salesforce App Exchange. We're an App Exchange partner, and we've added all the elements to Salesforce that are needed to run an enterprise level association, all within Salesforce. Rock solid accounting, innovative membership, certification, fundraising, and more. To the left and to the right, you'll also see the full depth of the Salesforce ecosystem. So depending on your association's specific needs, you can add things from Salesforce, various products there, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and more. You can also go and shop on the Salesforce App Exchange and add any variety of products. So between the Community Brands family and the Salesforce family, you have this universe of products. The potential is really mind-blowing. And now, speaking of how Nimble AMS works with Salesforce, we're very proud to announce that we're the only AMS built on Salesforce that has achieved Salesforce's very prestigious partner level called the Summit. Less than 1% of those Salesforce partners on the App Exchange have achieved this level. The Salesforce ranking of their partners, it's based on 3 key things. And this is probably something to keep in mind, as some of these 3 things are very important to you as you're selecting maybe a new AMS. They rank it on innovation. So how innovative is your product, and are you leveraging the latest and greatest features of Salesforce? Engagement. Is your product the hot product, the it product? Is it growing in sales exponentially? And customer success. Are your customers happy? Are you happy with Nimble AMS and Salesforce? Again, Nimble AMS is the only AMS built on Salesforce with that highest tier of Salesforce App Exchange partner level, the Summit. So now let's jump in and why you're here today. You're here because you're looking or considering a new AMS. We wanted to talk to you about that and really talk about how you can become more nimble and live the nimble life with a new AMS. to move away from that old school technology that is a barrier to your success. Or maybe you're dealing with antiquated upgrade process where the AMS vendor has customers on all different versions, the costly upgrades, and the upgrades are painful. You're not buying a new AMS for where you have been or trying to stay within a status quo. What you're doing at this very moment, you're buying a new AMS for your future. Where is the association going? You want to change your life now and in 2 years, in 5 years, and beyond. So you're looking for a modern AMS. So we're here today to cover and review with you a few handful of things that make up a modern AMS Nimble. A modern AMS is nimble because you have a couple of key things. You have a CRM, that customer relationship management. You're leveraging innovation with things like artificial intelligence. You're proactively monitoring and getting insights on business intelligence. You're working smarter and not harder with automations. And you're opening up new channels of communication with your members. So in the next 25 minutes or so, we have a lot to show you. Logan, are you buckled up and are you ready to show some Nimble awesome sauce?
Buckled in, Jeff. Sauce is sizzling.
Awesome.
All right, so let's get started with the first one, CRM. So I'm going to navigate here to staff user experience. And before we start looking at some of that CRM activity, I'm actually going to show one of my favorite features here in Nimble AMS, and that's global search. At the top here, this is really kind of like Google for your AMS. You can search for anything in here, supports fuzzy wildcard search. And, you know, in the real world, when you're trying to quickly find one of your individual members, for example, like Michael Hartzler, I'm just going to start typing in Hartzler. And when I hit enter, it's actually going to bring me back some results here. Not only the individual or maybe individuals with similar names are bringing back for relevance, but also related engagement records like registrations, past memberships, current memberships for Michael. So, you know, let's go ahead and navigate to Michael Hartzler here, a member, to take a look at this account. Immediately when I navigate to, you know, an individual account, I can see just a 360-degree view of Michael with key demographics at the top. I can see some related list records of, you know, engagement touch points like registrations, you know, speaking engagements, memberships. And then at the top here, this path, automation even kicked in and moved Michael along this engagement path to the ambassador loyalty based on just some of those interactions with us. And if I scroll a little bit further down here, we can even see some analytics to the right. So I have a couple different report charts, just kind of a lifetime touch points, giving us a donut chart, you know, segmenting how many registrations, merchandise, donations, you know, Michael has given us. And then below here, we can even see Michael has a pretty large lifetime spend. And with any of these report charts, you know, I can click into the view report, you know, to view even additional further details. But being part of, you know, built on that #1 CRM in the world, we can actually navigate to this tab here called activities. And this is really used for speedier communication, you know, maintaining and increasing member satisfaction, planning future tasks or meetings to maintain that great relationship with our members. And I can easily, you know, schedule a meeting or a task, log a call, email right from here, you know, using your Outlook. You can be inside of Outlook and use, you know, and see your Nimble AMS data there as well. But right below, I kind of have also this activity, you know, timeline, this history here of just, you know, letting me know what month, the year, what did we do, who was the staff user, you know, based on meetings or tasks. I can go ahead and expand any of these to view just additional details about that, you know, call that you had with the individual or the email that was logged as well. And it's just very easy just to view all this. You can even filter down by specific, you know, task type or activity type. And, you know, scheduling tasks is very easy. And just one way to do that is just by clicking just this new task. And, you know, I want to go ahead and just kind of check in with Michael here. So I'm just going to schedule a task for myself here to check in. We can go ahead and say, let's go ahead and do this tomorrow. It's automatically, you know, related to Michael. I can even relate it to other related records. You know, if it was for a potential sponsor call, I could relate it to the event record itself, or maybe a sponsorship opportunity. And I can just go ahead and save this. And then as a staff user, you're going to stay up to date on what you have to do for the week in terms of, you know, maintaining and cultivating with your members. So very quickly, we easily searched for a member using global search. We saw immediate key details like their loyalty level, robust analytics right on their account record. And using activities, we saw a timeline of our interactions with Michael and even scheduled a task. One more thing though, in today's world, it's crucial to have your data at your fingertips. Whether you're at an event, about to go in a meeting, or just on the go in general, you can actually just use the mobile app to access everything we saw. You can have different mobile page layouts themed and branded for your association, and you can do much, much more in terms of, using dictation to log calls. You can see the same analytics right from here, and even, approve certain applications or forms, getting notified on all of that activity as well.
That's awesome, Logan. Logan and I were at a demo recently where the prospect said, we're terrible at CRM. And granted, their legacy AMS really did put that at the forefront. And you can kind of see here, you get this 360-degree view as well as that mobile access. Logan, what about the more community side, the collaboration side? There's so much of a blending of that needed these days between e-commerce and collaboration. Can you show us something around that community side?
Yeah, absolutely. And before I just jump right to the community, just as staff for support too, you even have this log into experience as user, which is logging in as this person, impersonating them in case you need to support them. So I could just log into the community as this user. And what it looks like on the front end for these constituents, this is a community homepage. And like you said, Jeff, communities are super important right now. Helping increase, member customer loyalty, engaging with your members, having them collaborate and engage with one another through, these discussion groups that can be private or public. You can use these topics here to, have people ask questions and get the rest of the community to answer those, and people can vote as that best answer. So if you're someone coming in and have a similar question, you can search for it and get those answers immediately. You can even to the right here in a community for that engagement, do things like a leaderboard where they can earn points and badges to be seen as community leaders for your association. And at the end of the day, too, what you see here, the navigation, the theming, all of this is really all done through point and click right on the Nimble AMS and Salesforce platform.
Oh, that's great. So maybe we can move on to the next item that we were talking about of modern AMS, artificial intelligence. We have live clients using Salesforce's AI tools today to craft predictive insights. And one of our clients, they saw a 25% increase in their membership retention because of that prediction modeling. And that's pretty aligned with what we've heard from Salesforce from a statistics perspective, where they are seeing trends of organizations that have adopted AI to see that 25% increase in revenue. So Logan, do you think you can predict something for us?
Absolutely, Jeff. Yeah, so first let's go ahead and navigate to the prediction builder here in the staff kind of admin experience. And we can just click into the prediction builder, and on the screen, really, it shows you just kind of active predictions you may have. You can have up to 10, maybe they're related to, who's most likely going to actually attend that event or maybe donate during a membership renew. If you wanted to create a new one, you just click this button to the right called New Prediction. And, once you define a use case, for example, we've seen an uptick maybe of members lapsing over the past few years. Maybe we want to determine why that is happening to prevent those lapses. So, once we do this, we just give it a name, lapsing member prediction, and then you just define the object, the records to predict on, to bring all that historical data in. So we're going to take a look at the account object. And since we want to determine, membership lapsing, we want to actually define a segment. We don't want all of our accounts, maybe accounts that are prospective members, or maybe they've never been a member. We want to make sure that they currently are a member. So we're just going to make sure that, is member is true here. And once I kind of move on, Einstein to the right here just lets us know that we have a good amount of records, 57,000, needs a minimum of 400, because it looks at all that historical data and helps, us understand what's driving these possible lapsing scores. So once you save it, we can go ahead and view what's called a scorecard. This just gives us an idea of how the quality of our prediction to make sure, we want to make sure that this is good to go live. And then we just have these top predictors. These are just values that are really driving, these scores. What are the highest impact? Most recent membership is up there, account, money spent, how much have they spent with us, total years of membership, maybe they've never lapsed, registrations, a bunch of different touch points can really drive those top predictors. So what that looks like here as a staff view, I'm going to navigate to Kristen Douglas. We already took a look at a highly engaged member of ours, Michael Hartzler. And we know he's not going to lapse really, but what about our thousands, of other members, for example? With artificial intelligence and the predictions, we built, we can easily gain insight on who may lapse, again, based on that historical data and other criteria. So Kristen Douglas, we could immediately see, this likelihood to lapse score. That's the field that prediction builder put in there. We can see that, the loyalty level is a little bit lower, for example. And what's really great about these page layouts, once we have a score, how do we really take action maybe on just an individual account? Well, to the right, you can have these components, they're called, that actually display only based on certain criteria. So if they have a certain, lapse score, the higher the number, the more likely they are to lapse. We can have these components show up where it lets staff know kind of steps or a guide how to approach these individuals to get them to renew. Maybe we schedule a call and offer, some sort of discount if they're ready to renew today. You can have these next best actions as well, which is really an automation to do a lot of the work for you. So for example, if I just click this renew button, it can send Kristen an automated email with her details, as well as a unique kind of discount code, as well as a link that takes Kristen right to the renewal screen to go ahead and do that. So with the power of our very own data scientist there, Einstein did all the hard work for us, and we can quickly view just those high-risk members and take actions with those next best steps to retain them as a member of our association. Jeff?
Oh, that's awesome. I really love the way that it's easy and empowering for the staff person. And with that prediction, I'm sure there's a lot we can do with that also from a reports or BI, some of that visualization. I'm sure we can do a lot more with the data itself. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Again, one example here is really important to show just kind of the different attributes and things we can do. But you're right. If there's thousands or hundreds of these, we want to be able to kind of get a good, view, 360-degree view of all these individuals to kind of take action, in mass almost. So one way to do that in terms of analytics, it's very easy to build dashboards or reports in Nimble AMS. I'm just going to go ahead and navigate to kind of this dashboard that shows us several different things. But at high level, dashboards do give us that 360-degree view of these key performance indicators that matter most to us. Up to 20 reports side by side per dashboard, showing us analytics related to where our revenue sources are coming from, donations year over year, how our annual conference revenue is doing. And it's all displayed real time with great visuals to help us quickly understand this data. And right here to the right, we have a member lapse report. It's using these scores. And on any one of these dashboard components, I can just quickly go to view report, and I can just get a better understanding of what's driving that, visualization, that chart. So when I go here, we can actually just see the records as well as their membership details. I can open up these in new tabs and see additional information, of course. But on the left, we actually bucketed these likelihood to lapse scores into different, areas. Very high, critical risk, maybe high risk based on certain scores. But reports and dashboards, again, these are all built truly point and click with ease. Staff are empowered to build their own or adjust and clone existing ones. And again, we can use those AI prediction scores as a whole here and just have them into one report and add them to a dashboard to quickly visualize that data. Now, what's also cool about reports and dashboards is we can take action on this, add them to a campaign, start reaching out to them, cultivating them. But also, if you ever want to subscribe to dashboards and reports just to get updates, make sure you don't miss out on anything, you can actually just click the subscribe. And now I can just say, hey, I want this every day of the week. Maybe I want it at a certain time, attach a file, Excel file with it. And I can send it to myself. I can send it to the membership group or maybe one other user. And I can even add conditions to reports. When I hit certain criteria, go ahead and email me this report. So a lot of great stuff. And again, very easy to build dashboards and reports in Nimble AMS.
That's awesome, Logan. And again, we hear it over and over again in our demos, reporting and business intelligence. It's a critical business issue that people are having with their current AMS today. They just don't get that actionable data. And speaking of actionable data, you heard me say earlier, work smarter, not harder. What can we do about automation, and how do we get that to have the system use this data to help us along the process? Do you have something to show us there?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. And working smarter, not harder is key, absolutely, to being, as efficient as possible. And just one of the automation tools, there's several, but one of them is called Process Builder. And Process Builder is great because it's such a powerful tool that you can use to automate, a lot of the manual business processes you're handling today. And really what it does is when a record is being created and or edited, and when it hits certain criteria, a lot of different things can happen. It can update records, create records, send emails, and a lot more. It has an interface that is truly point and click again, that, when the certain action happens, like maybe a membership application is being completed, you can even just immediately sign that as an approval to a certain staff member. So let's go ahead and take a look at one related to that high lapse score here. So what this is really doing here is we have the first criteria, the object itself, so an account, and then we have these criteria nodes. So these are just setting conditions. So when a likelihood to lapse score, when Einstein Prediction Builder puts that score in, it is greater than a certain number, we can do some things here through immediate actions. We can create a task to a staff member with a high priority. We can update that account to different loyalty statuses or other fields. And we can even create other records like unique coupon codes that they can use for that renewal. And in terms of time lapse and scheduled actions, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if an individual were to lapse, for example, it can even say, hey, one day after that date of lapsing, go ahead and actually schedule now a follow-up high priority meeting to go ahead and reach out to that individual. If none of these are true, it keeps looking at other criteria. Maybe they're in a certain score with different actions. And again, you can even send automated emails through here. So let's actually see this in action. And I'm going to navigate to Josephine here. And, for demo purposes, I'm just going to actually change this lapse score again. Einstein Prediction Builder would stamp what that score is. But essentially, let's go ahead and see what happens with that Process Builder. So I'm going to put in a score here of, let's say, 81. So it hits that certain criteria. And the automation is currently kicking in. It's actually going to update the fields. It updated the loyalty status to disengaged. It also went ahead and created that coupon code and attached it to Josephine's record. And then if we go ahead and navigate to the activities tab, we can even see a task was created for the staff user with a high priority to go ahead and reach out immediately. So Process Builder, just one automation tool, but at the end of the day, it improves your workflow, removes a lot of repetitive manual work by using these immediate actions to take place when certain criteria is determined. And again, that's all done with point and click.
That's awesome, Logan. So now with the remaining time, I would really like us to kind of flip it really to the customer side, like their point of view, and what do they expect? And, in a new and more modern AMS, how can they better communicate with the association? So can you talk a little bit about that on maybe chatbots and live agent? And,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and specifically talking about some of the statistics there, it used to be something that was a nice to have item for many businesses and organizations. It was often seen as optional compared to like phone and email, but that isn't the case anymore. With over 40% of customers, they now expect that as a item on their e-commerce websites. And Logan, I thought this was a great statistic that we've seen before, where using all possible channels of customer support, live chat had the highest customer satisfaction rating. So think about that from a member services experience. Wouldn't people love to be able to chat with their members? So Logan, do you want to show us something?
Yeah, and before we get right into the live agent, Jeff, that important channel of communication, we're going to get a little crazy. We're going to take it a little bit further here. So to set the stage, kind of just what you're seeing on the screen here on the left is the live agent. They're able to take requests, chat messages, but on the right here, we're going to focus a little bit on this screen, which is really, again, that community that we showed before. And we can see this button, this chat button that you can add to that community. And when this individual member that's logged in, Michael Hartzler, goes ahead and clicks that, I can go ahead and just start chatting. And before we get to live agents, we're actually going to show a little bit of Einstein chatbots. And why is this important? Well, recent study, Jeff and I love our studies and statistics. Gardner and Forrester predicted 85% of businesses are going to be using chatbot by the end of 2020, which is in the past, which is last year. So this is something people expect from everyday interactions. So why not bring it to the association space as a member benefit? It can help you reduce incoming calls and emails from constituents. They can get their answers immediately. So what we're seeing here is that chatbot just greeting this individual to see if they can help first, maybe before transferring them to a live agent. So Michael Hartzler can go ahead and choose some options from this menu screen, for example, like if it's order related, we can have just kind of a sub menu pop up with additional options. But then also, of course, I can start, typing in a message. And if I just go ahead and just say something like pay invoice, Einstein chatbot actually understands that input, that intent of what the customer is trying to say. And actually through artificial intelligence starts learning from all these individuals of what they're asking for to help it better understand. So it's really just saying, hey, okay, what's the order number that you have? Maybe we have to, verify some additional details. Michael Hartzler is just going ahead and sending over that invoice number. Automation is kicking in. The chatbot retrieves that invoice, lets Michael know that there's a balance. It sends over an express payment link, which in Nimble AMS is a unique URL that people can pay off invoices without having to log in. And I can go ahead and just click that and pay off that order. But in today's world, especially, I think we just like that human connection a little bit. So if you want to go ahead and, ask a question to a live agent, I can just say for, transfer to agent, click from the menu, or I can just say, help, for example. And what it's doing now on the left is it's transferring it to this member support, representative. So essentially, the staff user will go ahead and see a message pop up. They're working, but now they have a message pop up with a notification. We can even see on the right here just a quick greeting as well. And Michael Hartzler, the member, can go ahead and start typing in, say, I'd like to change maybe and make an update to my registration. So the Moonlight trolley to my registration. And if you notice on the left here, the text is actually giving the staff user a preview. So I can act on this and be prepared to act on it before this individual even sends the message itself. So I went ahead and send it over. The staff user can go ahead and type a message. You can even use some quick text, maybe go-to messages that you send quite a bit, letting Michael know that they can change their registrations, but what do you want me to do it for you? So I can go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and say, please help me. So now the staff user can actually go right into to adjust that registration. And it also populated Michael's account in this sub tab. And I can verify some additional information. I can hover over the registrations here. And to make those quick changes, we can see for the annual conference, I can go ahead and edit. It'll bring me to that, order wizard here to go ahead and add that Moonlight trolley to his registration. And I can even use one of his stored payment files, stored payment methods on file to go ahead and just quickly, submit that. So just going back to the chat, we can go ahead and just let them know we did that. We charged their Visa ending in 1111, and they're receiving an order confirmation right to their email. So again, chatbots, live agent, these, they provide communications that are expected of today. Resolve common issues and questions, increase that satisfaction, and increase staff efficiency by giving them the right tools. And again, it's all built right on the Salesforce platform. Put it in your community where your staff and constituents can take advantage of that immediately.
That's awesome, Logan. Thanks so much for showing us so much of that Nimble sauce. And so we did have a question here, so I'm just going to jump right over to that so I don't have to start typing. Does that chat take secure payments? So we would not actually collect credit card information from there. What an avenue that we've done with some other clients is just reference their stored payment on file. So as Logan was going through and showing some of that, if you wanted to renew or make a payment, it would be something, hey, we have your preferred stored payment on file, a Visa ending in 1111. Would you like to pay with that? So then we're not collecting or doing anything from that payment aspect. We're just leveraging what's already on file there to again be secure and PCI compliant. So again, hopefully you saw a lot of great things in and around Nimble AMS. Please reach out. We'd love to show you more about Nimble and Salesforce and give you a deeper dive demo. And again, just as a quick review, there was a lot of things that we showed you, but we hope to really give you the tools to start living the Nimble life really soon. And I think we're pretty much 3 o'clock. So again, I'm happy to stay on here with some questions. And then Reggie, I think it may be back to you.
Yes, sir. So thank you, guys. Interesting demo. It's heartening to me where technology can take us these days. So thanks for that. So folks,